so we're in this sukha dukkha space, and they're very closely related. They're very closely related. Yeah? Um, I want to speak a little bit more about that, and partly in response to someone's question that came up yesterday in the Q&A. We had said, when something difficult arises, to see it as an opportunity to hold something that has not yet been held within yourself. It's an opportunity to hold something which has not yet been held. And the question was, what does that mean? And there are other questions like, why would we want to do that? Why would we want to do that? And speak to this a little bit more, because so much of our orientation, even part of our wiring, is not to turn toward the difficult. It's to turn away from the difficult. At the very best, to notice it, observe it a little bit from a distance, maybe even label it, but then please, sometimes there's a little bargaining thing that goes on. Okay, I see you, be gone, be gone, be gone, please, be gone. There's usually either some element of bargaining or aversion when something difficult is there. Tolerance, maybe a little bit of tolerance, but kind of not really wanting to turn toward, not wanting to move toward like this, like we would move toward, a pet or a child or a grandchild in distress. We immediately know what that would mean. Oh, how would I soothe? What might be the distress, and how might soothing? We don't have to think about it. We do that naturally. We don't do that so naturally with ourselves, poignantly, with our internal experience. We're not practiced at that. We're not wired to do it. We're not culturally conditioned to do it. And we tend not to do it when something difficult arises. Yeah? Yeah. One of my user-friendly definitions of dukkha is wanting something other than what is here to be here. And that can be gross or subtle, It can be subtle. Oh, this is pretty good. If only this would just go get out of the picture, then it'll be like perfect. It's almost perfect, but there's a little bit of an energetic to that. There's a little bit of an energetic, sometimes more than a little, with our wanting to reconfigure and reorient and to create the place that we think we need to create. And often it involves pushing things out of the picture. So I want to read this. I read this, I think I read it. Did I read it in this song? There's a wonderful little poem by Jane Hirschfield, which speaks to this. And it says someone, and she herself has meditated for decades, I believe. Even now, decades after, I wash my face with cold water, not for discipline, nor memory, nor the icy awakening slap, but to practice choosing to make the unwanted wanted. Yeah? I wake up in the morning, I wash my face with cold water. I used to do that at 4 in the morning when I'm in a meditation center where there was no coffee. And I had to get out of bed at 3 in the morning, or I would be... I wash my face with cold water, not for discipline, nor memory, nor the icy awakening slab, but to practice choosing to make the unwanted wanted. And this is it seems so, it's simple to say it, It could even make sense on a certain level, but to really do it, to begin practicing it, to really see that this is such an important move in the practice, one that we'll forget again and again and again and again. This is one of those little mantras. Oh no, it's moving toward. Yeah, it's moving toward. It's moving like this. It's moving toward it like this. Thousands of times we have to remember to practice that move, because that's not the move we've made our whole lives. It's not the move we've made. Even in our meditation practice, not to mention the rest of our lives. Yeah. It's to reorient, to reconfigure, to push out of the way. Hope, please will go away and don't come back if possible. Oh, there's that part of myself I don't like again. But the move that we haven't made is the move of, oh, something is in distress here. Something is calling for my attention that I have not yet really attended to. How do I do this internally toward that thing that's, here it is again. Here it is again. Has it gone away yet? Oh, it's been here my whole life. How do I begin to turn toward it, to make the unwanted wanted? And you've heard us say, we use metaphors, different metaphors, as if everything that is arising has a right to be there. Okay. As if it's all part of one ecosystem, which it absolutely is. I'm sure you've heard me use this metaphor. I love the snorkeling metaphor. We go drop down into the water, into this whole world, oh, look at this. First of all, it'll get you right out of your thinking head, But secondly, we don't go, oh, this is pretty cool, but those fans over there, if they were only a little bit to the right, that coral, it needs to be a little more feng shuied. And wait, you fish, you're great, but not at this moment. This is not quite. And yet that's exactly what we do in our internal environment. We don't go, oh, look at this world in here, this amazing ecosystem in here. What part of this do I think is not part of the ecosystem? That's one of the inquiries I do. What part do I think doesn't belong? Because that's the part I need to begin to go, oh, no, yeah, you too, as if it's all one place. That's the move, that's the move. And that is also a move of going from dukkha to sukha. Instead of going, oh, you again, if you notice, that move doesn't feel good. Aversion doesn't feel good. Aversion is part of dukkha. It's going from this move to this move. That's a sukha move right there. What is it, darling? What's going on there, buddy? Kind of ragged in there today, huh? Kind of ragged in there today, huh? Yeah. It's a whole different feel. So, oh, really? Really? Check it out, I mean, cognitively, yeah. But, really, this is what we're doing a lot. In the service of our meditation, we can bring that style, that approach right in and go, my meditation's almost good, but that's the moment we want to notice and go, oh, there it is again. That's not the wolf I want to feed anymore. I've been feeding that one my whole life. This is the one I haven't been feeding so much, even though I know how to feed it out here and with other people. Oh, wow. Anyway, yeah, that's enough. The movement from dukkha to sukha is not to get rid of something, then there'll be sukha. It's to begin to soften around. to move the, take the spiky edges of aversion, and in that moment, turn toward, as we've been saying, kind eyes,